turn my mic up. I'm joking.
Welcome everybody to the Shit I Shouldn't Say podcast. It's your boy, aka the moderator, Leo Bishop. You got your boy Chris Kane in the building.
What up?
You got Sleep in the building.
You know how it is when I'm rolling up, you know what I'm saying? New Kings of Tomorrow out, you know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
Hit that up on Amazon, you know what I'm saying? The book only $3.99. Support a young up and coming author from the Cincinnati, Ohio, you know what I'm saying, locality. Hit me up, let me know what's going on. And we got, you know what I'm saying, our illustrious producer, Jerry.
Dabbing on him like that.
Jerry. You know what I'm saying? We got Jerry in this bitch,
man.
you know what I'm saying?
Hey, this episode is brought to you by the
We got sponsors now?
Yeah, we got sponsors.
Yeah, we got a sponsor, Jam Clark. You know, he got a nice book coming out.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it is out. New Kings of Tomorrow.
Yeah, we do have a sponsor, JM Clark. He's an author. He has a book. Definitely came through on the sponsorship for this show. So definitely go out and support that book, New Kings of Tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? Fuck with me.
Yeah. Anyway, today's episode is going to be about envy. Black envy.
Black envy.
Specific type of envy here.
Specific.
This is specific.
We inspired by a few things. One being
like what?
Of course, the movie that was just released.
Black Panther.
Recently.
The Black Panther movie is taking over. What it do? 235 million in 3 days or some shit like that.
218
million in 3 days. That's
domestic. It's like 320 something like
nonsense.
Universal, globally, or whatnot.
Good morning to y'all.
So what we notice, of course, is that it's a whole lot of support for the Black Panther movie. It's a
whole lot of support from, well, obviously white folks gonna fuck with it because it's Marvel,
movie,
and a lot of white people, they love comic books and stuff, and it's a Marvel movie, so they always come through on the support. Black people not so much with the comic shit, but it's different with the Black Panther because it kind of taps into something else in black people to make them want to go.
We're a little more selective and shit. Like
niggas fuck with Blade. You know what I'm saying?
Niggas ain't going to see Captain America as much.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, cause that nigga really ain't got no powers for real. But I don't want to get into that. This nigga he run fast and he's strong, but he ain't even that strong. You know what I'm saying? He got a cool shield, but he really ain't got no powers for real. That's why don't nobody fuck with him. But I mean, we fuck with like Blade. Blade. He kind of like a superhero.
We don't fuck with Hancock too much.
That wasn't real.
Yeah,
Wait, y'all
I don't think Hancock real for real.
What was that one superhero Robert Townsend tried to do?
Meteor Man.
That was horrible.
That was live.
That was trash.
That was not live.
Yeah, it was trash.
Wasn't nothing live about that.
Remember they had the Golden Lords?
Yeah.
Baby Lords?
When they coming with them slinkies or something? That shit was whack.
Hey, what about Blank Man, though? Blank Man was dope.
Come on.
Black Man, no, that was shitty. Static Shock was alright when we was kids. You remember that cartoon, Static Shock?
Yeah, that was live.
We had we had some pretty shitty superheroes.
Static Shock.
I don't even consider these niggas superheroes. These was hood heroes.
I heard they was making
Darkwing Duck.
What?
Darkwing Duck was black.
That was not a black.
No, nigga, he had on the motherfucking purple pimp coat
with
a
dark.
with a top hat on.
That one shit with Daffy Duck in a motherfucking dark ass outfit, or Donald Duck, one of them motherfuckers. That wasn't black oriented at all.
Let's get dangerous, my nigga.
They did make Daffy seem a little stereotypically black, a little bit.
No, they did.
Not Daffy. What's the other one?
Donald Duck?
No, actually, it is Daffy.
Yeah, I would say he was the black.
Yeah, it was Daffy.
He wasn't black though. Wasn't nothing black about Daffy except for his fucking.
He had swag though.
Like his fucking feathers.
All right, so look, why do y'all think that black people are really going out of their way to support the Black Panther movie? Do you think it's because of the all black cast? Well, it was a couple of white people, but for the most part, all black cast, and then a black producer, director.
First off, I think initially black people just seen the name Black Panther.
And you think a lot of them didn't even know it was a comic book thing. They thought
they just thought it was probably. I knew they thought it was race oriented.
Right.
And so of course they're gonna back that because I could just tell by a lot of people's posts before the movie.
Right.
It's a lot of Black Fist and stuff like that. Like, did you even know he was in one of the Captain America movies? Do you know his backstory? They don't. They just watching it because it's a good thing. It's doing really great. But no, I don't think they went in with the intention like, oh, this is gonna be a great superhero movie.
What you mean by A, B?
We talking about black people, bro.
We black.
I'm being very specific when I say they. I'm talking about black people.
But we black. We black people.
I'm not.
You know about the Black Panther before, right?
If I went to go see the movie, I was going to see it for the reasons of it being a good superhero movie.
I went to see it for all of the above.
Well, I went to see it for one because I wanted to support something that
was black
would give kids a black superhero to want to be like. Because growing up, it was all like Batman. I love Batman. I love Superman. I love all of these guys. But these were white guys, and pretty much that's like our society's thing. Like Jesus is white, Santa Claus is white. All the superheroes are fucking white. Right. So all these men that you look up to, you are basically looking up to all these white men as God figures and shit. And it really was no black man. We had like Candyman and shit. This nigga in the hood killing people.
He wasn't no black superhero at all.
No, he ain't a superhero. I'm just saying.
Serial killer.
He was the most epic black
exactly. You know what I'm saying? It really was nothing else. It was just fucking Candyman.
And he still was in the hood.
Right.
Still.
I got a question. Would you say Candyman 5 times in the mirror right now?
I did.
I ain't play around with that shit.
I ain't
play around with that shit.
Part of me still like scared of that shit.
I ain't scared of no black dude.
I know he old right now. His whole basis though was it was actually a love story. He didn't get his white chick and he got fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
I forgot all about that.
They put honey on him. They put honey on him
and said his name and cut his hand off. So even in the black story, it still has some white. It still has some white undertone in it.
Did you see why I say Candyman like a superhero?
Yeah,
niggas know who Candyman is. But that get back to my point. Like growing up as a black kid in this society, like all the figures were white men. Any figure that mattered to a child. Power Rangers, motherfucking superheroes, Jesus, Santa Claus, anything, presidents, everything you could look at. It was always a white guy.
Cartoon characters and stuff.
Yeah, like, cartoon characters and all of that shit. Like X-Men, Wolverine, you know what I'm saying? All of this shit.
I'm talking about even the kiddie cartoons, like Sid the Science Kid.
Shit, we had a black cartoon. It's called Bebe's Kids.
Yeah, look, they was fronting on us on that. Yeah, they shit on us.
The PJs, that shit was lit.
Those are adult cartoons.
Everybody fuck with the PJs.
Yeah. But I mean, with this, I believe that it gives like kids a black superhero to want to be like, so they can look up to somebody or they can see themselves in the superheroes. Yeah. And it was like an all-black cast, and it was a black director. And that's the first time that's ever happened on a big stage like that. So we really needed to go out and support that, or else Hollywood won't do that shit again. So if they do something like that, like, all right, let's see what we could do with the black community and see if they'll support this. If we didn't come out and support it, you better believe that shit wasn't going to happen again. True. So it's like, all right, we need to get out there so they can see that we will support stuff like that. And then they'll make more of it so these young kids can see themselves in these types of superheroes and playing these big parts and shit like that. So I wanted to support it for that reason, but I didn't think it would get this much support.
Yeah. It's kind of like, it's bittersweet in a way. I ain't going to lie. I'm like, I'm on both sides of the fence. I do understand, like, damn, it is kind of like, nobody really like bandwagon fans. That's essentially what it is sometimes. Like sports, like everybody in the world all of a sudden a Warriors fan and shit because they hate LeBron. It's the same thing. It's like people don't even like the movie as much that haven't seen it.
They just go
just based on like the unnecessary like overhyping of certain things. Like you were saying, people, it's the best movie I ever seen, like of all time. It's like, I mean, that's possible, but that make me question, like, what movies are you really watching?
You don't watch movies. I mean, it was good. Don't get me wrong. This shit was good, and I'm seeing it multiple times. It was that good. But chill with it being, like, the best movie. It ain't even the best movie of 2018. Right. This shit is only 2 months old and shit.
And then it's
because, I mean, a superhero movie can only be so good. There's only so much plot in a superhero movie. There's only so much dialogue in a superhero movie.
Depth.
Exactly, because it's a superhero movie, and it's for children, teenagers and shit. It's made for that. It's not really made for adults. So as an adult saying that, it's really not meant for your demographic like that because, like I said, there's only so much plot, dialogue, and shit like that.
I was just about to ask a question, like, I think that it'll rank higher, like on the black list of movies than it would on the overall list of movies or whatever. For example, like the reason why I think the movie is great is because of certain undertones and certain things they spoke on that I can relate to as a black man.
Yeah, didn't that shit just get deep out of nowhere a lot of times? It'll be like on some straight kid, teenage, you know what I'm saying, superhero shit, and then boom, a slavery reference, like out of nowhere, like, god damn, where'd that come from? But it happened like multiple times. I feel like Anthony B. Jordan or whatever, he was just throwing them, Michael B., he was just throwing them shits in there just randomly. randomly. I feel like that wasn't even in the script.
I don't know.
Freestyling the script.
No, it was definitely in the script because
them shits was coming out of nowhere. But they was hard though, and they were impactful. They weren't out of place. They just seemed random.
The reason I say is Oakland. I ain't gonna like spoil it because Chris ain't seen it yet. But Oakland and all that and all everything there, that go to show that it wasn't just random shit he was saying. It all tie in and everything like that. But that wouldn't have happened if it wasn't a black director, then it might not have been as authentic. Certain little things like that might have been left out.
Right.
And maybe the movie itself, like to white folks or non-black folks that can't truly relate to every single part of the struggle, they might rank the movie even higher because of that. But you, as a black man, you might rank the movie lower because it didn't have that authenticity.
Yeah, I mean, it had crazy undertones. Like, they just switched out some shit. Like how...
Don't spoil nothing.
Yeah, I mean, but you could...
it ain't gonna matter. He can't.
No, I mean,
it ain't gonna deter me from watching the movie.
No, I ain't doing no spoilers because we got a lot of listeners and shit. But, like, this is something you would even know from the trailer. Like, they just basically replaced vibranium for diamonds. Of what people coming into Africa ravaging Africa for the diamonds and the resources. They just basically switched that out with that shit they call vibranium. But those types of undertones and shit that people would get, I thought were really cool. What do y'all think about people who saying shit like, oh, why y'all fucking with that movie? Y'all know that black people ain't getting all that money. Like, yeah, it's a lot of black people in it, but it's still a Disney movie, so why would y'all go support that? What do y'all think about those people?
See, go ahead, Chris.
Because I hear that a lot.
I think most of those people actually are talking to the bandwagon people. Like, from what I noticed, it's like, you ain't really about the comic book life, for one.
Right.
For two, this ain't I mean, they got undertones and stuff, but this ain't like a period piece where it's really talking about black history or 100% true black account of a story or whatnot. So some people looking like, motherfucker, you just getting hype and giving, quote unquote, the white man or Disney or whoever all this money for some shit you think it is that it's not.
So what do you think people... not saying that you feel that way, but if you could get into that guy's shoes or his thought process, where do you think he think black people should be putting the money at?
Honestly, though, those people that think that, I think they think black people should be doing certain things like putting it towards like black businesses.
Okay, black businesses.
Like black support, like that you really can touch. Like, cause we'd give our money away to like, a musician or something like that. Or
how much them tickets cost?
What you talking about?
Maybe a max for two people. It depends. If you're going to matinee, $20.
Yeah,
$20 a person.
To see Black Panther.
The cheapest probably for an adult is probably like $12, $11.
Right,
and two people.
Right, exactly. And nobody goes along. So let's just say on the average, motherfuckers are spending about $25, $30. You know what I'm saying? Right. $25, $30 to go see that. And as they say, putting money in the white man's hands, which I don't agree.
That every day.
I don't agree with. I don't agree with that anyway. It's a lot of black people in that, and they need support. I get that. But like you just said, all right, so that's $25, $30. Now, I'm going to insert myself into this conversation, into this piece as an example, because I am a black self-employed person. And I just, released that book, like I said. So I just want to give a little bit of numbers on that. I'm from Cincinnati, from this local area, and I'm not from one place in Cincinnati. I'm from all over Cincinnati. I lived in Lincoln Heights, Lockland, Avondale, Mount Healthy, Fairfield. I lived all over this motherfucker. So I know a lot of people. I know a lot of black people. I played basketball. I was a straight nigga in teenage years and shit. I was that dude. So people know who I am, and for my music career. So let's say I've had 2 book signings in the last week.
Yeah.
Because you've been at the book signings with me. And I would say black people probably turned out to support me, what would you say, about 5 to 10%?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I feel like that's sad.
It's very sad.
I feel like that part is sad because, we don't mind going to spend $25, $30 and give Disney that money, but you have a young black man in your area who's doing something like I'm doing. Not that it's super special, but it's uncommon in this area. And I can't even get my own people to come out and get a free book.
Right, it's positive.
It's a free book.
Right, first of all,
I spent my own money on these books. I spent $1,000 of my own money for people to come out, get a picture. And it really would only take 5 minutes of your time to just come in, boom, get a picture, out. And I would say 5% of the people who came to support me were black people. And the other were all white people. All the white people came out, shook hands, got the book, left me reviews and shit online, and that part bothers me. Like that bothers me a lot. Go ahead.
For the record, I didn't know it was free. If it was free, I'd have showed up. Just because I'm broke and cheap.
You're missing the damn point.
Yeah.
But the point ain't about getting the book. It's about coming to support. That's what he's trying to say.
Right. So, you know, that type of thing, because I know that y'all heard as black dudes, black people always say shit like, oh, man, you know why white people, they be getting over, though, because they support each other. We got to really start supporting each other when you see your brother doing something. But that shit it's all talk. I feel like it's cute shit to say on Facebook.
It's not talk. It's based upon that person wanting it to be when it's their turn.
I agree. Yeah,
because when it's them, they want the world to show up. Everything has to stop.
See, the concept ain't bad. It's a great concept.
It is.
Ain't nobody
we've been living off that concept for forever, man. We've been using it not only as a concept, then we use it as a crutch, and then we try to blame white people, then we try to blame everybody else and say nobody helped us out. Then we have opportunities to help each other, and we don't, and we bring each other down, and that's what we do. And we don't accept it, and then if you bring it up, then you like, oh, you adding to the problem. I'm like, okay, well, you ain't.
What did y'all think about this? Kayla on our social media said it's just not what interests most black people.
That's sad because it's called evolving. Yeah. You should open your horizon and come help.
But ain't that sad on a whole lot of levels that a young black man writing a book does not interest other black people?
You got to be talking about something ignorant or something that interests black people.
Hold up, but you would think that would be the case. But even in my rap career, and not even my career, not even my rap career, all black people rap careers in Cincinnati. These motherfuckers ain't supporting nobody.
Well, that's nobody. I don't even think it has anything to do.
We had
interest.
We had Lantana. We had a lot of like great, Zarnock. We had a lot Young Butter. Fucking Bandcamp. We've had a lot of like really like music people in this area. We don't even support these.
The sad part about it is
we don't really support anybody.
But the thing about it, the sad part about it is it's not even about interest. If you a lot of those people, herself, I'm sure she's on your page. Anybody who's on your page, because we talking about you specifically right now, and they're watching your post all the time, and they're liking your stuff.
I could listen.
Hold on, let me. And they on your page every day, and you can post something. You're providing just the sleep page is providing entertainment for people. You don't have to do that. And what is 5 minutes or 10 minutes out of their day to come support you for once? I mean, and you have a whole different scenario, a whole different thing. And they say it. They always following you. Some of these people ask you for advice. They always on.
Shit, all of these people ask me for advice.
So it's not even about. It's not even about interest. Like it's not even about interest. If you're not interested, you don't. I mean, even if you don't read the book. It's because y'all every day this dude makes posts all the time. All y'all comment, y'all on it. What's the least y'all could do is come down to the thing for him for one thing that he doing and support him. Like he's not asking for much. He's not asking for you to break your arm or snap. Like he just asking you to come down there.
And I'm even okay with them not supporting. That's not really the point or that I'm trying to make here. Mm-hmm. The thing is, if we can afford to go out and spend $25, $30 for a Disney movie, you would think.
You can go get it free.
That you could come and do something that's free to support a young black man that is going to be getting the money. That is going to benefit from the pictures, from marketing and stuff like that.
Why they don't.
And it's just crazy because, listen, they always say that. And it's true when they say that. Like, white people stick together. That's fucking true. They do.
They don't feel no type of way.
They do. Like, if one of them doing something, if they even fucking kind of know that dude, they like, hell yeah. Let's go out and support this guy. You make the shit bigger than what it is. And then that creates a life all on its own. And then the shit blow up. They really do support each other as they're supposed to. Black people say that we're supposed to do that. But then when it come time to do that, like they're vacant. It's like none of them, and that shit kind of sad too. Because I'm at these book signings, it's just like all white people here, and I'm like, I love my white people. They always supported me throughout everything that I do. But I'm like, damn, where's all these black people from my posts? Right. These motherfuckers be hundreds of comments and shit. Like these motherfuckers is out here on every post. If I'm talking about some ratchet shit, I'm talking about some hoes, some chicken wings and shit like that. Black people come in droves, and it's like, all right, we doing something positive today, y'all. Let's see y'all faces. All right, I ain't trying to make money off nobody. I'm giving out books.
Just wait.
Like damn, just show up.
Just wait till it's their turn. Then they're gonna be wanting the world to stop. That's what it come down to.
That's a very big problem.
Because it's a me and you've talked about it in private before. Black people, we don't want to admit it, but we only want to keep somebody at our level or below us. If we see somebody going over, we don't want to see them succeed.
It got a lot to do with
if they succeed, and sometimes not in your case, but sometimes when a black person does succeed, and you ask them how did they do it, they like you an exception to it, but they like nah, you got to learn that on your own. Ain't nobody help me.
Yeah, I'm always down. I'm always down to help anybody who needs help.
I mean, but a lot of people like nah, I had to earn mine, so you got to earn yours.
See, a lot of times it got to do with like you were saying, you being at the bottom or whatnot, and people don't like you being in a better position than they are.
Sad.
It's subconscious sometimes. Like for example, when he first started rapping, it was. I should say we because we was all involved.
Right.
We would notice that it was like way more like black people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Initially, right?
Yeah, it was.
Because
It was a
it's
lot
like,
of black
okay,
people in the beginning.
You down,
Right.
Because you completely unknown, so to speak, musically. Okay, I can rock with you. We on the same level, or I might even be considered better than you.
We can help
I'm
each
known.
other,
right?
kinda.
Right. Soon you start to skyrocket past these motherfuckers in
They tell themselves you're acting brand
in
new,
attention
or
or skill level. Then it's like, oh, it's a problem. It's like I can't even associate it. People like to distance themselves from success sometimes because it make them look weak or vulnerable or less than if they not living up to it or competing in the same way. I mean, it's a natural thought.
It's not.
You know what I mean?
But how come it's so common in just black people?
I mean, for obvious.
I mean, we're gonna make excuses, but
for
we
past
got, at what
obvious
point,
reasons,
at what point
like,
do we
yeah.
stop making excuses for ourselves and accept the fact that we just haters of ourselves?
Now.
I mean, because that's all we do. All we do is just keep saying,
Now it's time,
it's how we was done. And I mean,
But
when do we stop?
check this out though. It's a direct correlation on my Facebook page. Now, if you were to scroll back to before my book came out, I was getting a whole lot of support, a whole lot. A lot of people were like, "Oh man, can't wait to read it." Yada yada yada. And then boom, when it comes out and it's a success, bestsellers list. I think that put me on a different level to where a lot of black people don't feel comfortable with me anymore. Like if I was selling books out of the back of my fucking car or some shit like that, or if it was some super ghetto shit that they could identify with, they would be more down to support it. But if they see me in like these big bookstores and they see bestsellers lists, I think it makes them feel uncomfortable because it makes them view their own success in a different way. Because the direct correlation is on the page. Before everything popped off, lots of support because it wasn't real yet. Yeah. Nothing was out. Like there was nothing tangible. It was like, oh, this nigga could still fail type shit. And then when it becomes a real thing, it's like, look at anything that I post about books. The numbers just dwindle. Man. Like no love anymore.
It's like y'all don't
no
need,
more, no more likes, no more comments.
You don't need us. Like a lot of people think that, like, oh, you don't need us, so I ain't gonna spend the money. I see people doing that.
You know what happens next? The higher you get, the more they're gonna say, oh, he's changed.
Exactly, like, as if I'm the person. As if I'm the person that's changing.
But like that say, when you get money, usually it's the people around you that change more than you yourself.
He don't.
Yeah,
he's changed.
Like so that's just something that I noticed in regards to the Black Panther thing. How we all willing to run out and just give the money there. You know, meanwhile, I have to fucking bend my people's backs behind their arms to buy a $2.99 book. Yeah. I mean, to the point where I've had to send people money. Yeah. Like, I'm like, oh, man, you gonna support the book? Oh, man, I ain't even got $2.99, bro. I don't get paid. I'm like, my nigga, I'll PayPal you some money right now.
$2.99.
Like, really, I'll PayPal you some money right now because I want you to be able to read the book.
Tell me
like, I gotta bend niggas' backs behind, bend their arms behind their backs. You know, I had about 700 pre-orders. Nigga, only 490 of them went through. Motherfuckers' cards was declining, nigga. 200.
For $2.99?
$2.99, my nigga.
Come on, man.
Over 200 cards
you gonna
declined.
eat today, right? That's McDonald's.
So I had
$2.99.
750 pre-orders. Only 400.
I think my bank take that out on accident every day.
Nigga, I wouldn't even notice $2.99 coming out the account.
No, and if you do, you got big problems. You got bigger problems than a buck.
Yeah, so it's just shit like that. But I'm like, but y'all can go down in droves. Everybody running down to give Disney $30 per for this. And I'm trying to give motherfuckers shit for free. Like, hey, y'all support me. I support y'all with anything. There's nobody on my page who could come. Y'all could go to or they could come to you and say they asked me to support them in anything, and I didn't do it. I buy shit that I don't even need. Motherfuckers come to my page selling me beard oil and shit. I just buy this shit just because, like, all right, I want to support you.
I do the same thing. That's how I am.
I don't give a shit. I'll support you. I don't give a fuck how much. As long as it ain't nothing ignorant, like you asking me to spend like $100. Right. But as long as it's like in the $20, $25 range, like even if I won't use it, I'll still fucking support it.
I was in the mall last week. Some dude walked up on me, smelling like Dro. He had a mixtape. I had $5 in my hand. He like, hey man, come support. I didn't care what the mix. I was like, yeah, here, dude, man, here go $5. So I was like, go ahead, man. I frisbeed that shit, but it was just more about just supporting him. Like I ain't give a shit. Like here, take the money, bro.
I do that type of shit all the time, even with kids and shit. Like you look at me like, oh, you a kid, so I buy your candy, but I don't need your candy.
I really
the same way
I
don't need to mixtape.
I didn't listen to it, but I just wanted.
I be like, can I give you a donation? And I just give them like $5. Like I ain't gonna eat the candy
unless they got some fire candy, but usually they don't. You know,
that candy ain't never good. That's why it's cheap.
Usually the good shit sell out before you even see the kid. But anyway. anyway, that go to the point you were saying somebody else made earlier about interest. Like, supporting people ain't always about what you interested in. Like, I see a lot of black stuff going on, and that's what white people do too. Asian people as well. You think everything that these Asian people invest in with each other and things of that nature that they really love all of this? No, they just support the people that support them. You know, you keeping the money within the community, group economics, and all of that. Like, it's just common sense at the end of the day. And like you said, Chris, at some point we just got to stop making excuses, because we do have valid excuses. But after a while, these first of all, the excuses are wearing thin anyway.
That validity is starting to get a little vague, bro. We live in 2018. How long are we going to keep going off the same excuses? But it's cool to have an excuse, but like, if you got an excuse and you're not really trying to make a change, then it's just an excuse. And that's why everybody else start looking. We're the only race nowadays where people look at us like, why do they always keep pulling out the same when are you going to make a change? Like, we're the only race that lacks unity. We do it when it's convenient for us. Like this Black Panther movie, we want to band together for a movie, and then we want to use the caveat. Oh, well, we putting money in Whitey's pocket. I mean, what do you think you're doing when you buy Air Jordans or anything that you want?
Your rent, nigga,
if women got designer bags, shit, you think those designer bags are made by
like
black?
This. We seeing all of this communication on Facebook. Facebook was made by Mark Zuckerberg. It wasn't made by.
That's the thing, man. That's why I don't. I mean, that's just it's just another reason or excuse. Like, oh, well, we put money in Whitey's pocket. I mean, we do that with everything. And I mean,
you living in America, you can't help it.
Do you really care where your money goes? We waste money every day.
Like, I was watching this thing, and this girl had this where resort type thing where it was like black people only. She wasn't letting white people come and all that. Right. But then the funny thing about it is, like, the person that owned the resort that she rented from is white. Yeah, so it's like,
can't be. I feel like,
come on, man, you was almost there.
I just almost there. I'm not salty at black people.
Just disappointed.
I'm disappointed. Yeah. I expected more from them because I come from the world of music, you know, of rapping, and everybody rap. That's not anything special or anything. But in our area, there's nobody who's out this motherfucking writing science fiction novels, and on a high level like I am. I'm just not some dude just writing science fiction novels. The shit is legit. It's realistic. It's on the bestsellers list. And I thought that black people would get behind that and rally behind that. Like, damn, man, he did something that's awesome. But I do get the inboxes and shit about that. Yeah. I get the shit in private. In private, they'll come to me and be like, oh, man, that's awesome that you did that. That's great.
It's the vulnerability factor.
Exactly. But they don't show up when it's time to show up to support me. And I always knew my white fans would support me because they always have. Like, the majority of my views on my music comes from white people. The majority of my shares, white people have always supported me because they're not perfect or nothing, but they're just that way. They don't give a fuck. They don't have an ego about it. They're just like, whatever, the shit is good. I'm gonna fucking listen to it. Period.
Pretty compassionate.
Black people, they feel like if they say something nice about you, somebody gonna be like, oh, you on that nigga dick. You said his book was good.
Exactly.
That ain't shit white people worry about. They just be like, shit, the book good, motherfucker. I'm gonna tell him that it's good. Like, why would I hold that back? Yeah. Black people are more like, they want to whisper it to you on the side. That's hey, my nigga, by the way, that book that you wrote, that shit on fire. I can't say that shit on your page. I can't say it on your page because niggas gonna say I'm on your dick. But they say the shit in private. And so when I'm at these book signings and shit, I'm excited like, oh, this shit gonna be live. And Leo been there for both of them. He know we always have a good turnout. 50, 60 people show up. But it just be sad because it'd be like 2 black people every time. Yeah. Like, damn, like nobody can't just drop in and just say what up. Like, a couple of white people, they came like, hey, man, I didn't even get a chance to pre-order the book, but I just came to just show love and just check you out and get a picture or something with you. And I'm like, damn, it take 5 minutes to just come past. I did one in Cincinnati, one in Northern Kentucky. So this shit's is easy to come to. Just come through, show face, you know, get a hug, come get a free book or whatever. So I was disappointed by that. Like, damn, man. And y'all out here spending $30 a pop to go see goddamn Black Panther.
See,
it's crazy.
I get it. Like I was saying, it's the vulnerability factor. For example, like, we had other black movies that was successful, or even movies that was about the cause. Like, for example, we had Nate Parker. He made the movie Birth of a Nation about Nat Turner.
That movie was hot.
And all of that.
Birth of a Nation was real good.
But
that shit
all of a sudden,
he didn't make as much as he thought. He put a lot of money into it.
It was successful for being
not as successful as he thought it was going to be, because he put his
independent
own
film,
money into that. Yeah.
So he made his money back in some profit, but nothing like what it should have been. So they took one little allegation that he was accused of some sexual misconduct when he was in college, and this dude he wasn't like a big actor, but he was a B-rate actor for a long time, and nobody cared about none of that shit.
Until he came out with that movie.
Soon he come out with a movie about slaves rebelling and taking over and all of that. People, including black people. This is not to go in on the women, but I don't know if y'all remember, but it was this black feminist movement and shit was was taking over. This way before they was destroying this motherfucker. Like before the movie came out,
right?
That made a whole lot of people not even want to see the movie. But that movie was more about the cause and about something that really happened to help us usher forward and all that. But some people so tired. Oh, I don't want to see being looked at as a slave, which I understand on some level. Right. But this is something that really happened. Happened. And it's something that was viewed as
like, I'm tired of the slave shit.
I mean, but he's
sorry, it's a huge part of our history.
He rebelled.
I'm tired of the slave shit.
He rebelled and showed
act like that ain't happened.
Right. Showed strength and courage.
Uncomfortable.
So what make people don't mind to see Black Panthers? Because it's safe. First of all, all white people like it. Right. So you're not getting any white ridicule.
You ain't getting no pushback.
Like, I mean, other than the people that's just racist, but fuck them.
We're gonna get that regardless.
So you wouldn't get no ridicule from white people. You're not getting really any ridicule from black people. It's a safe movie. It's not negative in any way. So people like, oh, I can support the movie without looking crazy or looking, and having to take a stance. It's that type of thing. Like, only people want to take a stance sometimes. They either got to be like super ignorant or super positive. We missing a whole bunch of people in the middle.
Let me ask y'all a question.
Millions.
I want to know what all y'all think. We have somebody else said something on our social media. Okay, she said, I just have a problem with people expecting me to spend money with my heart and not my mind. I need to want or like your service or product. You being black won't sway me if the service or product is not desirable to me. I guess that's selfish. Question mark. Hold on. I don't think
She's
it's
not gonna like my response.
I'm gonna give let me give my thoughts on that first. For me, it's more about, and it ain't even black or white. I would definitely do it if it was a black person, but I'll do it for a white person. For me, it's more about price. You know what I'm saying? It's about price. Don't ask me to go spend $100 on something. Don't go ask me to even go spend $50 on something. But if you put hard work into anything, I don't give a fuck what human being it is. If you put hard work into anything and you asking me for $2.99, dude, I have like $30 in change in my car right now. Like, it's $2.99.
The fact.
I mean, it's like,
it's not that serious.
It's really not.
Because the way she just put it is every purchase that she makes, she thinks it out, and it has to be a heartfelt purchase. I'm sorry, I'm calling. Thank you. You just took that's utter bullshit. Like, we go to Redbox and we'll just grab any random movie just for a night, just to do something. Like, bro, we don't think about everything, and we don't think twice about it. We go to the grocery store sometime with a list of things we want, and then pick up random shit that we don't need. And it, like, let's stop. It's $2.99.
Exactly.
Like,
it's about the price.
It's not that deep. Let's not even act like
come
that.
To me,
like I said, if you said $299, then I'd be like, I gotta think about this.
It ain't even gotta be nothing that they work really hard on.
It's not,
if it's $3, like, all right, $3.
That's why I said
I'll give you $10 and I'll buy 3 of them, whatever the case may be.
Let's just call a spade a spade. Let's be real. You didn't want to. If you didn't, not saying her specifically, but we're not gonna make excuses about $2.99. If you're not interested, you weren't interested, and you just didn't go, or you just didn't want to see this man's success.
Well, listen,
that's as simple as it is.
I don't even have to be interested for $2.99. Right. Listen, you don't even got to tell me what you're selling for $2.99. It's $2.99 if I know you. And people from my social media, they know me. If you know me, and this is, a situation where you're asking me for $2.99, you don't even have to fucking tell me what it is. Like, oh, you need support for $2.99? Of course, yeah, I got you on $2.99.
She made another comment.
She said something about the black-owned business, but that's closed. That's closed. That's closed.
Expensive items.
Right, that's closed. When he started off, they weren't expensive items. They were cheap T-shirts. He evolved, and now it's become something big. So now he can break supply and demand, sweetie. When it's low, you can put it at a lower price. When it gets better, now he has celebrities who wear his clothes. So now the price is up. That's why it's expensive. It didn't start off like that.
I mean, I ain't blaming
her. And that's a choice also. And it's not $2.99.
I ain't blaming her for asking the question, but that in itself is sad, like, to me, because it's like, why does it have to be either or? Like, I get it. She just want to know, probably. So I ain't even going to ridicule her. But I'll put it like this. Of course, it's going to be expensive things. Like, why can't black people have expensive things and cheap things? It shouldn't even matter. At the end of the day,
it don't seem to matter because the same logic is applied. Clearly, rather it's cheap or it's
she's now saying showing. She said she don't mean as far as buying. She's just talking about showing up for the book signing. That's just time. I mean, that's like just investing on time just for. My whole thing is like this.
I get it.
This is how I look at it. Okay, I'm Sleep's best friend. I support him regardless of what he does. I don't even comment on most of his posts because I know Sleep. I've known him for forever.
Right.
But y'all people who don't know Sleep and y'all think y'all know Sleep and y'all follow him all the time, y'all are his followers. He does not care about y'all posts. Y'all follow him all the time. Y'all been supporting him. So why not go the extra step and show up to his book signing if you supported him already? What's 5 minutes out of your day? You follow him every day for other stuff. He's post random. He provides entertainment for people. Like right now at this moment, this podcast, he's still providing we are not on this girl's commenting on your live feed. Right. She follows you.
Right.
Takes 5 minutes to go. Like you said, you can find a radius. You can find time in your day to go see this dude for a minute, take a picture. And
see, now listen, if this was on a smaller level, then I could say, you know what, maybe people they don't have the time to.
Right.
But what time was these signings? 6 to 9?
6 to 9.
Yeah.
Everybody ain't working second shift. And then I did 2 of them. One in Cincinnati, one in Kentucky. Yeah. And listen, if there was a decent amount of black people coming, I'd be like, all right, hey, maybe some people just couldn't make it. But we literally talking about 5% were a black turnout. I think that's enough of a sample size and to say that there's clearly something wrong with that picture. Because we live in an area where there are lots of black people. Yes. It ain't like we live in a place where there's not a lot of black people. There are plenty of black people. So when only 5% show up, it's like, well, what's going on with the psyche here? Because that just don't make sense to me. Because let Yo Gotti or let one of these motherfucking nobody-ass rappers who ain't even from Cincinnati show up. We cannot wait to go spend $60 to hear the same songs that we hear on the radio.
She said that so how do I or how would I invest my time into something that I don't want or desire? You don't even have to grab the book, sweetie. It's just about you supporting Sleep because you follow him every day. That's all we were saying.
She not talking about him. She just talking about other black folks and different. I mean, in general. So I get what she's saying, but once again, it's little things you can do. Man, I get it. Once again, you already spoke on about people acting like they purchasing from the heart and out of love and all of whatever, out of necessity. We know that ain't true just based on being a regular American. We buying a whole bunch of shit that we don't need on a regular basis.
But why can white people show up to something that they're not necessarily interested in just to show support?
Like it's just about supporting people.
But black people need
in general.
like you gotta
be invested. It's gotta have your heart and soul in it.
It can't be both ways. You can't tell me. Look at it like this. You can't tell me. Okay, if you feel that way, then don't say you understand the cause or whatever that may be. If I even got to explain it to you, you don't know.
Right.
If you acting like black businesses and black success is at a level that it needs to be, then okay. All right, maybe this ain't for you.
Right.
But I know that's a smart young girl. I see her from time to time on the post. It seems like she like to argue, just to argue sometimes. I ain't gonna lie. But sometimes it be like that. But at the end of the day, you know damn well we suffering business-wise as a people, a community, a race, whatever you want to call it. So why wouldn't you just support? I ain't saying like I ain't riding around the city looking for black businesses support, but you see shit along the journey. I come out of Kroger sometimes, and there's black people right there. Like Kroger's let them be in the part where the cart's at and all that, selling beads and oils and whatever. I don't even need the shit, but I still bow $3, more $2, bow $5, bow. Like just because it's like they need this money. This is a black person. For one, I know this they don't work. This is their business. Why wouldn't I support that? I want them to be able to have a store eventually like black owned. It won't be clothes related, but still.
Well, listen,
people got to start somewhere.
It's always gonna be this way because we don't want it to be. We don't want it.
We don't realize how. Sorry to cut y'all off. We don't realize how much we need each other.
Well, no.
The same way, like we talk about group economics. This is what
we do realize.
I might hire your ass one day.
You kind of said it, but
or your daughter.
This is what happens. Like he said, a bunch of white people come support you, and then we wonder why when somebody black does become successful, we look at y'all and we look at each other and we like, well, you didn't help me on my journey. And then we try to say somebody acting brand new or Uncle Tom or something, but like, no, you weren't there to support me. So I know who was there. Whitey that you talk about. So it's actually opposite. We should need each other, but we realize every time something happens how much we don't need each other or we don't support each other. We should be there for each other.
The dichotomy of it is insane because it's be like the turnout to be like a lot of white people, and these are white people. All of these people are people from my social media. And you know, we get busy on my social media, especially with like race topics and shit. I'm going hard at white people and they going hard back at me. Black people this, white people this. And we trying to figure it out and we talking and having discussions and shit. And me and those white people could put that shit to the side. We might not agree on a whole lot of shit with Donald Trump and different stuff like that, but we can still respect each other as people. And these same white people, even though we don't disagree on a lot of shit, we go back and forth, they still show up. Yeah. They still show up like, hey man, I just want to come and show
they
love.
Don't feel no type of way.
They like, I see you doing something, and then on the black side, the black people be on my side in the arguments. They be like, man, white people just don't understand. Yada yada. We gotta stick together. And then boom, it's time. And it's like, where y'all at? the white people who I was arguing with, they all here. The people, y'all was on my side. Where the fuck y'all at?
I'm about done answering her. She just playing devil's advocate. She just want to argue.
We ignoring the consumer. Listen, man, we know damn well how the shit works, man. The motherfucker can. Let's be honest, man. I don't even like to be this level of honest because
shit, why not? Dude, that's what this is for. Sometimes that's why people understand. It's called the shit I shouldn't say.
Sometimes you don't want everybody in your house to see how dirty your room is.
Right.
Come on in.
Listen, man.
You want to come in, you get to see the dirt.
Man, fuck that. Me and Walmart, or fuck Walmart, it ain't got to be that. Me and Jerry could be on the side of the road selling T-shirts, and people automatically gonna assume that his quality of shirts is gonna be higher, and I'm not even blaming them for that. It's reasons for them to think that. Okay, we live in America, we systematic racism. They think white people got more money. Okay, I get why you would initially think that, just off the top. Subconscious thinking, whatever. Okay, some people will see the quality of the shirts and know that mine is better, but still keep going to cop from him just because it's like it's more comfortable. And but motherfuckers want to talk about quality and the consumer and shit. Fuck all that bullshit.
Hold on,
if you want quality, motherfuckers is buying shit from China all day on Amazon and online.
Niggas is buying Jordans that cost $9 to make.
So if you truly care about quality and want to support black businesses, you can do so. If you're not doing so, it's because you just simply choose not to do it. Let's be honest.
But look,
all that bullshit.
I mean, but even still, like, say, taking into consideration what she's saying, why don't white people have a problem with still coming to do it? I mean, it's the same situation. They humans, they're consumers. They still show up, rather they are interested in it or not. And they are interested in it. Is it that white people read and black people don't? Like, I don't want to go there because these are my people. But do niggas just not read and shit?
Listen,
is that what it is?
I'll say this, not enough.
Hold on. All right, look, check this out.
Not enough.
Look, we got a different woman. Her name's Shayla. She said, I feel like it's an insecurity thing. When you are being ratchet and ignorant, you are on their level, so to speak. And she's talking about my social media. I do a lot of entertainment shit. You know, we talk a lot of shit, yada, 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 and we could get pretty ratchet on there. And she right. When I do that, you know, black motherfuckers front and center for the ratchet shit, right? So to speak. And then she said, but when you level up or do something outside of that, I feel like people start to look at you as if you think you are better than them. But it's not. It's in their minds, and that's how they just make sense of it all. What do y'all think? I think that there's a lot of truth to that, because when I'm just out here just being ratchet, just talking about nasty stuff, baby mama drama, baby daddy drama, we talking about fucking big booties and you know what I'm saying, whatever. We talking about rap shit, whatever the case may be. I get a huge black turnout. But when I do something like this, something that's super positive, helping motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? I speak at libraries for kids. I help people out during the holidays, white and black people. I buy gifts for motherfuckers, kids, all types of shit. But when the big shit is happening, when I really need people, because I don't need motherfuckers to be on my post talking about nonsense. That shit is just, when I'm bored at home, I just, you know, something to talk about. I don't need that shit. But when it's something big and it's like, all right, y'all, we've been rocking for about 5 years, because it ain't like these motherfuckers don't know me. I don't expect a black person who don't know me to just come out of nowhere and do some shit. Y'all motherfuckers know me. Y'all here front and center. Like, y'all wake up to me. Y'all wake up, grab Facebook. I'm the first motherfucker you see on Facebook, and we get to talking. We have conversations via inbox, and then it's like, when it's time, like, hey, guys, I need y'all. Let's do it. $2.99. Come through. Say what's up.
Two things.
They never show up.
I think it's because you're providing a free service of entertainment for them. So to them, you're like a comedian. It's an entertainment for them. It's something. But the moment you did something for yourself, and there's a price tag on it, don't matter what the price tag. Obviously, clearly it could have been 99 cents.
That shit could have been free.
Shit, you even said free.
Nigga, it is free. I just give motherfuckers the book.
At that point, they're like, well, this is not of my interest. But that's what it comes down to. I can look at it as, I don't know, I might be a little bit far-fetched with this. It's like Kevin Hart. People love to see him and everything. I'm sure if he said he was writing a book, people would be like,
well, listen, Leo said something. Leo said something yesterday. He said what'll happen is that I'll take off with this book and I'll get big.
They coming back after you get that book.
And that's what he said.
Oh yeah. He said I know sleep. I got screenshots of inbox
and then that's when the screenshots come out of conversations. That's when I've been day one, yada yada yada. That's when that shit come back.
They show up to them signings then.
Because we seem to do that with a lot of shit. It's like, we don't really give a fuck until you get big.
It's the vulnerability
till everybody else tell us that you're somebody.
Love you
like you're nobody until
they want to be next
somebody
to
else
to know somebody.
Yeah. It's strange.
It's worse than that. Sometimes they don't want to be next to somebody that knows somebody unless the person that's next to somebody that knows somebody is on. What I mean by on, they got to have that certain level of status. It ain't about support. For real. Like, black people love supporting each other, but
do they?
It's like it's conditional. Sometimes it's conditional though. You know, because like you said, when you're doing certain things, you'll get support for that. Or you see other people doing certain things, usually if it's something negative. You know, if it's a positive thing, sometimes we feel vulnerable when it's too positive. It's like corny and shit.
See, man, what
it
you
is
doing
like I'm making excuses.
You are, man.
I am, but I'm just explaining. I'm explaining the mind state of the people, just to let them know.
That's why we do what we do, man. We got too many.
Listen. If the issue,
I'm just tired of the excuses that we make.
If the issue,
you 100%.
Listen, man. I support black people. I can't. How do I not? It affects me. I'm black.
Right.
Like, I mean, I don't have to prove my hoodness. I don't have to prove my realness. I know me. I'm super secure with me. I just feel like, man, black people, we have to accept the fact we make a lot of excuses for ourselves. A ton shit.
But look, check this out. If it's desire of product, which is something that somebody said, maybe black people don't want the product. For me, it's almost more hurtful that might be the case than what we're talking about. I would rather believe that motherfuckers is just haters than to believe that my own people aren't very interested in reading. Like that's hurtful in itself. I don't even like saying that shit out loud and shit for white people to hear the shit. Like, look, they are that fucking ignorant. But it almost seems like that's the case.
Facts may be the facts, bro.
Because maybe they're not haters. Maybe they just don't like the fucking read.
Yeah,
maybe that is the case. And I don't want to believe that that's the case.
If you think about it, if you ask a lot of black people what type of books do they like, it's usually a sex novel or some type of. It's something
it's
that
sad,
what I would say is this. I would say that's not true. I don't think that's true.
I don't think that's true either, man. Because I know a lot of black people that fucking read, man.
See, what it is the type of people.
Okay,
so it's many different types of people.
I like where you're going with
I know I know a lot of black people that like to read. But most of the black people I like to read, they not necessarily into like rap that much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like deep into it.
Yeah.
You know?
But how many black people are more like that than the ones that are more into like I
wouldn't say it's more.
I mean, can we say typical? I don't even want to say
stereotypical.
Cliche. I mean, we gotta say it. I mean, because we're speaking of the masses, and the mass of common black people that we speak of aren't people who read and they are in the rap. I mean, because it's kind of rare when you find a black person who's not into hip hop or not into that. I mean, because that's part of our culture. It is. I mean, so when you find somebody who's not, it's like, okay, what are your interests? And then look, their interest is something more intellectual, surprisingly. So, I mean,
listen, people always wondered how, like, musically in Cincinnati, and this was back when Chris came here, when he was rapping a lot, and me and him were a two-man tag team. As far as rapping, two-man cipher, people wonder how we took off so fast in Cincinnati, because we did. We kind of came out of nowhere, and then boom, we were like really fucking big in Cincinnati, and everybody knew we rap. We had hot videos and shit like that, and people were like, "How did that happen?" And it's sad, and I never wanted to say it, but it was because we had a lot of white fans, because white people support shit. You know, we never put our music to Cincinnati, to black people, because they wouldn't support us anyway. Remember when we first came out, we were trying to get black people to fuck with us, like, hey, y'all, we rap, y'all fuck with us, we good. Nobody, niggas, they wouldn't talk to us, they wouldn't do anything. So what we made a conscious decision to say, fuck that, let's start marketing our music outside of Cincinnati to people who actually support shit. And it was just like all white people, like super cool, like, oh, y'all dope, y'all. Hold up, and then what happened? About a year later, we was big as fuck, all of our posts getting hella likes and comments.
We ain't just talking regular, we had fans from the Netherlands, Canada, everywhere. People got tattoos.
Yeah, I'm about to say, it's motherfuckers in other countries with tattoos of the fraternity on their fucking bodies and shit. Like, this shit was big. So if a year later, after all these white people support us and shit, then the black people show up. Like, oh, them niggas serious then. Oh, they good. It's like black people need to be told by white people.
Didn't I tell you that?
Yeah, it's just strange.
The Black Panther is safe when they realize it's safe. Y'all like it too?
It's just strange. Like, when we weren't big or anything like that, black people wouldn't even look our way as far as music. They like, we don't know y'all niggas. The second white people started really boosting us up, sharing our shit, commenting hella views. We talking thousands of views. You know, I had the Vivo page popping, first nigga in Cincinnati with that shit. So when that shit started popping, black people started looking at our social media like, damn, like this nigga get hella comments and likes. And honestly, that's the way my social media runs. It runs based on my likes and comments. Because motherfuckers won't comment unless they think you popping. So white people made me popping, and then black people jumped on like, oh, oh, okay, so he's somebody then. Okay, I can like this nigga then. So I can like him because they said it's okay to like him.
Look at it
and it's sad that it's that way.
Take yourself out the equation in books, and because people want to talk about it being about a book and education, and people might not be into that. If you just keep it all musical, it's rappers in the same city that got predominantly black fan base,
right?
And they making the same type of music they claim they want to hear, and they ain't even supporting these motherfuckers.
Exactly.
Like,
well, that's also
these
because they
motherfuckers just as broke.
But that's because most people
else
make the misconception with success or music is, let me make my fan base my family and friends. That's the stupidest thing.
No, but
ever,
these dudes got people at my job, people I see on the streets actually arguing about that. Like, the problem sometimes, she talking about the product. It ain't about the product. Sometimes the consumer is the actual problem. I know people, for example, that'll love the shit out of an actor or an actress or a musical person.
Right.
Singing, rapping, whatever. They argue with you for 3 hours about this motherfucker to be the greatest and leave and go buy that shit on bootleg.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah, I mean, the people
instantly. Like, you not supporting the person. You will die for this motherfucker, and you don't even want to
buy
the
album.
album.
Ready to fight somebody in the debate.
I support shit that I like and shit that I don't like sometimes because of the meaning that it might bring from me supporting them.
I got you.
This black business may grow and it's successful and it's helping black people in general. Sometimes that's enough. It ain't even about the product at times.
I mean, for me, I think it's just about people just being different. I don't understand what the fuck wrong with black people. I'll never understand these motherfuckers, and I really don't care to.
Man, we in the healing. We in the healing.
It's sad, not sad on you, but I mean, I agree, man.
I mean, it's just a talking point because I don't really need black people to do anything for me. My book is a success. This is just a talking point of this. It's going to be a success whether black people support it or not. But it was just very disappointing that it came out that way, and I know they'll be back. Like, I know they'll be back. Right. Yeah, they always
shit like this is
and
necessary.
Maybe one or two now are probably gonna show up to your next book signing because they feel you shouldn't even have to bring it to the forefront.
They feel like they should have to do it.
But it shouldn't have to be brought. But like you said, I mean, I feel the same way. But it's not that I feel some type of way about my people. I just know my people. I know my people better than anybody. Like, it just get to a point where you're just like, I don't expect it. I don't really. But this is why we suffer.
But listen, I think I'm just built differently, and I think y'all might be too. So somebody on there said I don't support shit if I don't like it, regardless of race. Yeah. But I'm not really that way, because I'm the dude who I supply Christmas to 20 families every goddamn Christmas for no reason, just because I want to help people. If somebody comes to me with something and say it's something like that, let's say in particular a fucking book, you know, obviously it took them a long time to write that shit. It's a big deal to them.
Right.
And they like, hey man, can you support me? And I know them. Now, we're not talking about somebody who you don't know, somebody off the street. It's somebody who you have dialogue with on a consistent basis. You know that person. You comment on all their shit, pictures of their kids. Oh, you know that person. You know what I'm saying? You might have even seen or met that person in real life. And they come to you like, hey, man, could you support me? Like, nigga, your shit $2.99. Nigga, I'm about to buy $20 worth of these.
Oh, you know what?
$20. Right? Like, how much will 20 get me? I don't give a fuck if I read the shit or not, nigga. Right. I send it to 7 people who do read. Right. If I don't read, I know niggas that read. So even if because I do read, but I read mostly fiction and shit. So say somebody come out with some nonfiction, I probably won't read that shit because I don't like nonfiction. I'll send that shit to 5 people who do. Like, all right, it's $2.99. That ain't
control
shit,
what
nigga.
happens once it's. I mean, it's just.
It's just
I can't make somebody read something, but it's the
just
point.
A support. I want to show you that I give a fuck about what you're doing because I know you. We have a back and forth. We have some form of a relationship, and I see that you're really trying to do something. So I mean, the money is just so for me. It's about that. The money is so little. It's not really even
the principle.
Yeah, it really is. It's just the principle of the matter.
Some people, bottom line is some people are very selfish, and they find excuses and ways and reasons not to support people. And sometimes you got to realize.
But then they won't support. They won't support though.
Supporting people is supporting yourself. For example, like we've had to talk about this a couple podcasts back. I give a bum money sometimes. Not just for the bum. I'm giving you money sometimes for me. Motherfucker, I might be a bum someday and hope somebody give me money. I mean, people got different reasons for doing different things. You can have...
I had a tough childhood. Motherfuckers helped me out with shit, so I just be paying that shit forward.
It's a million reasons.
Motherfuckers didn't have to help my family out with shit that they helped us out with.
Regardless of the question of the thing, it's a million reasons to do something, and it's a million reasons not to do something. You can find good reasons.
Then I just make a post the other day. I said, if you're looking for an excuse to not go after something, you'll find it every time.
Yeah.
So if your thing is that that you want to find a reason not to help
talk
somebody.
yourself out of anything.
Yeah, exactly. You could talk yourself out of any fucking thing, or you could talk yourself into something if you want to.
It goes both ways, and it's not like a higher level or whatever. You can either talk yourself out of something the same way you can do one. You can.
My cousin had a great point on her post the other day.
What she say?
I might fuck it up a little bit, but it was something along the lines that your friends, they'll buy you a $200 bottle in the club to drink, but won't put $5 on your GoFundMe page.
And why is that?
And that was like very powerful.
Misery love company, my nigga.
It's like they
something
can
negative.
They can.
I mean, it's not. It's something that benefits them. Like they benefit from you in that bottle because they having fun with you.
Yeah.
Something go.
It just go to show like
they like. What do I get out of it?
It just go to show like negative cycles of support that people think that they have for each other.
Life is full of whiffums.
I want to ask, since this conversation is more racially fewed, we need to ask the only white guy in the room, which is our producer Jerry.
The token white guy.
Yeah, token white guy. So Jerry, like. I mean, obviously, you're not the fucking spokesman for white people, but you are a white guy, and I'm sure you have a whole lot of. I'm sure you have a lot of.
Could be, you don't know.
You could, but you're not. So, like, all right, say amongst people who you know and your friends and shit, like with your podcast show, do they come out and support you? Things that you're doing, and do you support them? People who you know, not just random white people. Is that an issue among you guys? Like, where it's like, damn, I can't get nobody to come out and support me, or could you usually just kind of pencil or ink them in that they're gonna come out and support if I need them to support.
I mean, for the most part, we get a lot of feedback from people out of state.
Right.
People like we get a lot of people up in like Minnesota,
right,
and Canada and stuff like that. But the majority of it is not people that I'm friends with every day,
right,
and I talk to all the time. It's people that we don't even know.
And why do you think? Why do you think that is? Why do you think people who you know have an issue with supporting you as much as people who you don't know?
The only thing I can say. They hate us because they ain't us.
Too many people go get they peanut butter and jealous.
Yeah, definitely they peanut butter and jealous, man. I think that has a lot to do with it, and in all situations, I think.
So you think they just hate us, basically?
Yeah.
I don't be wanting to say that because that shit is so cliche since the Ricky Lake days to just call motherfuckers
until they come up with a better word. I mean, it is what it is.
To just call motherfuckers haters, but it just really seemed like that.
It is. I mean,
because people who aren't close to you, they don't have an ego about boosting you up. They like shit, cool, like whatever. Like I like that shit.
We gotta also remember though, we talking about race too. That black people do for obvious reasons. More ego.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's unnecessary, but we do have more ego. We worried about status and how we look.
But it's up to us to change that.
And that's what we do.
We don't change shit. We state what we are.
That's why we got.
And we pretty much just say we state what we are. We say this is how we is. Accept it. I ain't changing it. And we just keep doing it. Like,
well, listen. Somebody said. So what's the solution?
This is
This is
part of the solution.
First
of all,
talking about
acknowledging that the solution is this. It goes right back to elementary. The golden rule. Don't do nothing to nobody you want. I mean, if you want, like, if put yourself in Sleep's position. If it was you, would you want support?
Well,
I mean, it's that simple.
That's why I support everybody because I've always asked people to support my music or something. So somebody come to me, hey, I need advice. Could you help me out with this, man? I'm giving all the advice. I'm giving advice. I'm buying shit.
I think,
nigga, listen.
This is how I look at it.
I done paid for niggas rap videos. I done paid for niggas studio time. I done did a lot of shit because I always ask people. I expect people to support me because. For one, I do things on a high level. My music videos. I write books. I don't fuck around. If I do something, it's gonna be high quality. So, and I'm asking people like, hey man, give me a share, give me a comment, let me know what you think, y'all. So when you doing that, you can't be not supporting motherfuckers. So I'm always the first nigga to support somebody. If you come to me via inbox or on my post and say, hey, I need some support with this, I'm always going to do it because I expect the same thing back.
Well, this is how I look at it.
But other people, they don't want to support, but they also want to be out here asking everybody to help them. But that's their problem.
That's when they have to look at it like when it's their turn, because it's always your turn, whether you don't want it or not. When it's your turn, don't be looking around like boo-boo the fool, like why ain't nobody supporting me, blah, blah, blah.
Right, everybody going to give your ass a whole, they going to drone on with a million excuses for why they can't support you.
Like this, like I've been knowing y'all for years, you know what I'm saying? Like we met through rap or whatever, but ever since I met y'all, I haven't released any music. You know what I'm saying? I'm not asking for nothing. Y'all not asking for nothing. But it's just straight up love. You know what I'm saying? And look, for example, like we doing a podcast, people might be like, oh yeah, but y'all ain't. Fucking Joe Rogan or something like that. Yeah, whatever, bitch. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you know, you did the other radio show. Like,
yeah.
I didn't call you to do the radio show. I didn't call you to do the podcast. You called me to do that shit. You know, that's something that I enjoy doing, but I would have never had that opportunity if I wasn't showing genuine love myself. So that's just an example right there for the people that's talking about product and the consumer. Sometimes showing love is just showing love. We humans at the end of the day who don't want to show love. You see somebody else doing something great and it's not killing you or breaking you to help them out, then just do it. It's that simple.
Unless, of course, what the person is doing makes you feel bad about yourself.
It shouldn't. That's an internal issue that you did.
My slogan is,
that's that mental health
what you eat don't make me shit. I mean, it sounds shitty, but it's true. Like, that's my way of saying I don't feel no type of way. Like, I'm actually more happy for you than I am. It's supposed to be
shit, nigga. I'm out here trying to attach myself to the situation. If I see somebody about to take off or they doing something great, I want them to remember that I was there for them. Whoever it might be, black, white, I don't give a fuck what it is.
I just don't
if
get
I see you doing something and you come to me or you ask me or I see it on a post or something, I want to attach myself to the situation. I want you to remember that when you needed help, that I helped you, regardless if I was interested in what you were doing or not. I'm not going to spend an ungodly amount of money on anything, but if some shit like $5 or something shit like that, like whatever, it's a large fry. It ain't a big fucking deal. It's like either spend the $3 or $5 or $10 or risk alienating a person who you like or somebody who expects you to support them. You can always expect me to support somebody,
and that's what I mean. I guess
especially at a decent price point.
I mean, I don't understand the
jealousy. But we can go to the Black Panther shit.
I swear to God, I was just about to say that.
That's what it all comes back to.
If you tie that down to the movie, one of the messages they sent in the movie was that, of course, Wakanda is a fake place, but it showed that y'all isolating yourselves away from the world who need support, just like the chick was talking about. They looking like, I don't like what they got. I don't need what they got, so why should I support that? It's the same exact shit that they was talking about in the movie, but you realize after the movie, it's like, damn, you do need to help out other people, because when, like you said, it's always your turn. You may have more money than me today, but it's always somebody that got more money than you. You broke to somebody.
Well, I think that's
you
why
got bills too.
But look, and we get back into the dichotomy of race. I think that's why I do get so much support from white people overall, because I help people out a lot. Lots of inboxes. I post people questions for them and get them feedback on it. I have millions of conversations via inbox giving people advice. I done gave people money, Christmas shit, all types of shit like that. So they don't feel a way about supporting me. I don't know what the disconnect is with black people.
You ain't giving out turkeys on Thanksgiving and shit.
Lucas,
you gotta get on your Nino Brown shit, man.
I just don't. I don't understand what the. I don't understand what the difference.
You gotta do more nigga shit, bruh.
And I'm tired of accepting that it's a black thing.
You don't drink Hennessy?
I can't keep accepting. I can't keep accepting from black people saying it's just a black thing. It's how we are. Right? Because that's what the excuse you're gonna get is this black thing. That's how we are. But I mean, if that's how we is, then we can accept why we are. When it comes to unity in this world, that's why we are at the bottom. We are at the bottom because no other races are as below unity than we are. We are super divided.
And it's crazy because we believe, and even other races acknowledge that we so like rich and like spirit or soul or whatever.
We so strong, yet we so weak. We stand together.
We connected to nature. It's almost like this. Everybody acknowledge that we somehow more easily connected to nature, but at the same time we less connected with each other. Which is
but what we do is the moment we get divided, we say it's this race and this whatever races, even no matter they school shootings, whatever, they can mass kill each other, they still know how to come together. All other races, and we can deny it till we blue in the face.
Sometimes white people say shit about black people,
and you think like,
hold on, it make me mad
because
then I think about it and I be like, hold up. They might be right.
Because the truth hurt. The truth. I mean, it makes I won't openly admit it, but I
niggas like that. But nigga, don't say that shit though.
I can't give you the ammo for the gun, but I mean, I can definitely say you got the right. You got the right heat.
What you got, Jerry?
Now, this is just me speaking, not as a representative of the white people here.
White delegated. Delegated.
But one thing I have noticed that I could maybe shed a little bit of light, give some advice to you guys. If y'all want more support from the black community, nothing works better than an airbrush t-shirt.
See?
Y'all get some airbrush t-shirts together, you're gonna draw a crowd.
Somebody gotta die though.
See, I was about to say that.
It gotta be RIP. It gotta be RIP with the. With
honestly,
airbrush shirts ain't in no more unless it's a death.
I feel really shitty because we gave him the floor, and I thought he was going somewhere with
that. He was gonna say something impactful.
I know he wasn't going nowhere.
I thought he was going there, and I was like, "Here comes some insightful shit."
Not for me, man.
I know he wasn't going nowhere important. No.
All right, so we gonna end it like this, and this is the main problem that a lot of people don't understand. The problem is a lot of the problem is religion. Like one of our greatest things is religion as a black
people love
culture
religion.
because we're very spiritual naturally. So we don't really need religion, but we think we do.
We love Jesus
for reasons, whatever. We ain't getting into that. But most people acknowledge in this day and age that they don't need religion as much as they previously thought. But the man in the sky, that's the problem. We always waiting on like P. Diddy or Jay-Z or something to swipe down with their millions, to give you the black Walmart, and now you can proudly go to that store.
But they wouldn't though,
and they ain't because they haven't.
We already talked about this.
They wouldn't do it.
They ain't even help Khalif Browder, so they just say,
listen, if Jay-Z or P. Diddy came out with a grocery store, black people wouldn't go to it for the same reason black people don't go to black banks. Because if white people don't support it, then black people are going to feel like it's not safe enough.
But if white people did support it, though.
If white people supported it.
Then
do y'all know,
be the shit.
Do y'all know the, with the most, okay, as far as black credit cards, do y'all know the one that's black owned?
Rush?
No. Kimba?
Nope.
No.
Which one?
Amex. You know American Express was a black founder?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Amex. Yeah.
Is it still black owned?
I don't know if it's still black
smart.
owned.
They don't let niggas get that.
Amex. Everybody be thinking Visa and all that.
They don't let niggas get them.
And that's a prestige credit card. Very prestige.
I thought it was just that Kimba Credit Union. No. I don't fuck with them.
Because you see the word Kimba.
Niggas like an African thing on the fucking the logo.
I thought that was some Fifth Third shit.
Nah. I think they fuck with them though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a credit union.
Yeah.
All right. Well, bottom line, folks, is we just need to do better, supporting each other at the end of the day.
I won't keep my fingers crossed.
And
I ain't gonna keep my fingers crossed. I just thought that's I thought that was a good connection with the Black Panther movie because black people really went out and supported that, and they should have.
It was beautiful.
I did as well, but I just wish that we could do that on a more ground level with each other, like
on a regular basis.
Yeah, because I mean Disney worth trillions of dollars. They don't need your fucking $30. No. But that person, like the black-owned store in Cincinnati and shit, you know, he could use that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because that's more of a ground level. You know that man. You could go and touch him. You could go and hug him. You can go and support, black-owned businesses and shit. But we won't do any of that. But we're willing to go and shuffle out $30, $40 on popcorn and different shit to support some shit that Disney did. So it don't have to be one or the other. I would like to see us do both. Because other races do both.
That's what
Asians go see fucking movies. White people go see movies and shit. But they can still support each other at the same time. It's like black people, it's like either one or the other. You can't do both and shit.
Yeah, we're going to keep holding this L until we finally start
this L ain't going nowhere.
That L stands for not lost. That stands for lifetime, because this is a lifetime L until we change some shit.
Accountability is the first step. So
like you said, so just talking about it, acknowledging the shit is a big thing.
Unfortunately, I hate this, man. Just like as human beings, we always got to like shame each other into realizing what we are.
It is sad, ain't it?
It's disgusting, man.
White people, we don't give a fuck.
I'm just saying, just people in general, man. Like,
I try to give a fuck.
Since the beginning of time, nothing has changed without an overwhelming level of shame. Like, when did people just realize, okay, this is wrong and let's stop, like on their own? Like,
listen, so the homie Devin, before we get out of here, I want to give him a little bit of marketing. Devin Zeller said, bro, I released a book last year, and I also didn't get no support on Facebook, like 0 sales. Wow. But it's all good. I will continue to sell the book, but take another approach like selling book for like $200 because of the valuable information, the business that comes with the book. They will pay $400 for a college textbook all day with no valuable information. 300 pre-sales. I say you hit the max on Facebook. All right, so Devin Zellers, I want you to put your book title in the comments, and then I'll definitely go pick it up, and I'll urge other people to go pick it up as well. So yeah, man, if you're a self-employed person or something, don't be afraid to just hop on motherfuckers' posts and just come out and ask people like, hey man, can I get some support? A lot of times people will do it if you just come out and ask. A lot of these niggas won't do it anyway, but some of us will, so I will. So put it in the comments, and I'll check it out, and I'll urge other people to do the same thing. And y'all make sure y'all do that. If you know people who trying to do something, man, support them. Everybody don't want to work in fucking 9 to 5s and fucking clocking in for the rest of their life and shit. Some people trying to create something, and they can't create anything if they don't have the help of their brothers and sisters, regardless of what race it is. If it ain't gonna hurt your pockets to help somebody out with something, then just fucking do it. Like, you could come up with a million excuses, but you need to ask yourself, why are you coming up with those excuses? Like, why is it that important for you to talk yourself into helping somebody? You shouldn't have to talk yourself into helping somebody. So ask yourself that question if it comes to that. But we're going to go ahead and get on up out of here. Make sure that you go listen to the other podcasts on the Shit I Shouldn't Say podcast. You can get to it on iTunes and the Stitcher app and KYHBB.com. That's KYHBB.com.
Don't forget Google Play.
Don't forget Google Play as well. And also, listen,
everywhere.
On the KYHBB.com website, it's hella different podcasts, and they're really fucking good. So check out ours, and then check out the ones on there. They got some movie reviews, too, right?
Yep, doing the movie reviews now.
I synced it. They got the movie reviews. Did y'all do Black Panther yet?
Yep, we just did that.
Okay, they did Black Panther. So if you haven't seen Black Panther, get on the I Synced It podcast, and they talking about movie reviews and shit like that. So, yeah, definitely go to KYHBB.com. We appreciate y'all, and we're going to get on up out of here.
Chris got